In this video, we're going to look at translating equations. Here are some keywords that you're going to see in translating equations. Plus, more than, difference, minus, times, and, less than, of, product, sum, quotient, divide, and decrease by. These are some of the words. Now we're going to look at some easy ones, and we're going to look at some more challenging ones as we work through this video. But first, let's figure out where these words belong. I have four operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And I have some key words, and we need to figure out where these key words fit. So the word plus, what type of equation am I going to write when I see the word plus? I'm going to write an addition equation. When I see the word times, times is another way of saying multiply. Minus is subtraction. Sum. Sum is the answer to what type of problem? An addition problem. Less than. Well, if I have less than what I began with, I lost some. I decreased. That goes with subtraction. Quotient is a tricky one. Quotient is the answer to a division problem. And we're going to talk about that later. Difference, the difference between two numbers. The difference between 7 and 4 would be 3. Difference is a subtraction problem. More than. If I have more than you, I have an additional amount, so I'm going to add. And we generally see with add, I'm going to kind of leave it out there. Of, we generally see with multiply. Product is the answer to multiplication problem. Divide, division. And decrease by. Decrease by is subtraction. Now, one that I don't see here that's the opposite of decreased by is increased by. So I'm going to type and add that one, increased by. And increased by is going to go with addition. Okay? Let's move on. Juan has 7 more coins than me. 7 more than me. Now, if I told you that I had 6 apples and Juan had 7 more, how would you figure out how many Juan had? You would take my 6 and you would do what? You would take my 6 and you would add his 7 because he had more than me. Okay? Now, in equations, they don't always tell you what the start number is. So I know Juan has 7 more than me. But what if I didn't tell you how many I was hiding behind here, how many coins I hid behind here? I kept it a secret. Then it's going to be a variable. I can use n, I can use x, I can use the letter b, I could use the letter o for my last name, whatever letter you choose. So an equation will be n plus 7 because it's 7 more. Now, an easier one would be, I could ask you for the sum of two numbers. So, of a number and 7, the sum of a number and 7 would be n plus 7. That's another way we would see this one. Okay, this is trickier. Sally has 6 less apples than me. So, let's give Sally a number just to start off the problem. Let's say Sally we don't know how many Sally has. Let's say I have 10 apples. If I have 10 apples and you wanted to find out how many Sally had, so let's say I had 10 and you wanted to find out how many Sally had, well, she has 6 less than me. So the operation I'm going to use is subtraction. Okay? Now, I'm the 10, but what happens if I don't tell you how many I have? Then I'm going to use a variable. So x minus 6. So a good trick is to first give a number to yourself and then do the rest of the operation. And when you go back, replace your number with the variable you like to represent yourself with. So Sally has 6 less than me would be x minus 6. The quotient of a number and 6. Now this is a tricky one. Quotient. If you remember from earlier, I said quotient is division. Quotient of a number and 6. Okay, there's those of and words. Okay, so they mix with a variety of operations. This is how I remember it. When they give you the quotient of a number, okay, and another number, the first number is your numerator. The second number is your denominator. So the quotient would be a number. I don't know what the number is, so I'm going to use n, and 6. So remember, quotient, they're going to give you the numerator and then the denominator. Okay? Product. Products is the answer to what type of problem? Multiplication. So the product of a number and 13. So this is one way to write it, but you're a little more mature now, so you can write it this way. The number comes first, followed by the variable without the operation sign. When I have a number next to a variable, the operation is multiplication. So knowing the keywords and what operations, you should be able to translate a series of mathematical sentences into mathematical symbols. Go ahead and try.